Hi folks, this is Steve Shaman for the Skywatch Media News Channel. On March 7th of this year, 3 NOAA weather stations detected what they believed to be the entry of a meteorite about 16 miles off the coast of Washington. The descent of the object was widely viewed by local observers, and whatever came down created a very loud sonic boom. Here is how it was reported on the night of March 7th.
New overnight, a mystery in Grays Harbor County after hundreds of people reported a loud boom. This was followed by a flash of light. Some people reported their home shaking.
Yeah, King 5 viewer Derek sent us this surveillance video from outside his house, and you can see the light there in the distance. We've looped it so you can see it over and over, and we got Derek on the phone to talk about exactly what he saw.
My daughter and I were laying watching some cartoons, and I thought it was a truck driving by on the road up by my house and didn't think nothing of it. And my wife got on Facebook and she came in and asked me if I had seen a light or heard anything. And I went to my security camera and seen the big flash of light on my security camera. So
the National Weather Service says there was no severe weather. The FAA said it had no issues, and there was no earthquake or report of explosions or crashes.
King 5 reporter Glenn Farley got hold of these seismograms, the first one from Ocean Shores, the second from the south side of Grays Harbor. The red lines that you see show some sort of event about 7 p.m. last night when this all happened. The National Weather Service in Seattle tweeted out information on these meteors. The agency said that it was a bolide meteor. It would have hit the atmosphere at an angle of about 45 degrees relative to those who heard that sonic boom. It can take about 90 seconds to 4 minutes to reach the ground after the explosion.
The impact event happened 4 months ago, but now NASA, along with the NOAA, are hell-bent to locate the object. They are so determined to find the object that they have deployed, as of July 1st, an exploration vessel called the Nautilus to search the waters near the Olympic Coast National Marine Sanctuary. They have also deployed 2 remote-controlled submarines called the Hercules and the Argus to roam the seabed in the area of the impact zone. According to the report, this is actually the first time that scientists have attempted to recover a meteorite from the ocean in what now looks like some sort of intentional cover-up. It's believed that the scientists have uncovered 2 fairly small fragments of molten rock from the area. But because so many people were eyewitnesses to the object's entry, it has become a phenomenon that the government cannot ignore. Speculation has it that this event in Washington is linked to a number of strange booms that have been heard across the country, which I will talk more about in just a moment. Since we are on the subject of NASA, there is another very compelling story regarding an event that has scientists keeping a close eye on the sky. It looks like the space agency is tracking a massive blast of cosmic radiation that is heading straight towards the Earth. What is especially revealing about this story is that the influx of radiation is coming from a giant star system. NASA claims that the energy pulse that is racing through the galaxy is being emitted by 2 giant suns that are located some 7,500 light-years away. The radiation that is quickly approaching from the vastness of space contains an energy equivalent of 1 billion electron volts, and it is believed to be traveling at or near the speed of light. Apparently, cosmic rays with energies greater than 1 billion electron volts have already been cast into our solar system. But the sources of the radiation were not known. That is, until now. The New Star Orbiter that was launched in 2012 is confirming that the colliding stellar winds of the giant star system, which is surrounded by a dust nebula that is shaped like an hourglass, is the reason for the energy patterns that are heading our way. So what this entails is that the blast wave of an exploding star in the cosmic system that is called Eta Carinae has caused the acceleration of cosmic rays at speeds comparable to that of light, thus creating an energy boost. It's not certain why NASA was compelled to make this information public, since the massive blast doesn't seem to pose any immediate threat, given its distance from the Earth. Even if the cosmic radiation were to reach the Earth, it would most likely lose much of its punch. Some 175 years ago, the Eta Carinae mysteriously became the second brightest star in the sky. But in a span of just 20 years, after ejecting more mass than our own sun, it suddenly faded. What's interesting here is that many things are changing in the universe and across our solar system. And so we continue to look to the sky. Regarding the mystery booms heard across the U.S. and how it may be linked to the Washington event, there are some folks who say that something sinister is taking place. The speculation surrounding these events has reached a fervent pitch, especially when you discover what people are saying about the things they have heard in their communities. Residents of Cleveland are saying that pieces of their homes are breaking apart and that their floorboards are shaking. They claim there are noises coming from below. Now, they're quick to point out that there have been no reports of earthquakes or other natural events, and so there should be no logical reason for the ground to be shaking. But apparently, this is what is happening here. This CCTV recording appears to be showing a huge flash in the distance, followed by a sonic boom. So, what is the actual cause of this bizarre footage which caused homes to shake in the Cleveland area? One of the Skywatch Media videos that has received more than 1 million views since its publication refers to the government endeavor to build underground facilities in anticipation of some type of catastrophic event that will reshape the world as we know it. For our viewers who genuinely feel or sense that the world has gone astray, the possibility that activity below the surface of the earth is being done expeditiously and in secrecy seems to make perfect sense. But to be fair, there is no conclusive evidence to suggest that there is a correlation between the sonic booms, the shaking of the ground, and what clearly looks like a blast from a passing fireball, as picked up from the closed-circuit video. With that in mind, there is still good reason to be concerned, since the rumbling and the shaking and the atmospheric explosions and the sonic booms are escalating across the country, which tells us that something is underway or is about to hit the fan. So here is the focal point, and it's an interesting one to say the least. The unusual and unexplained sounds and shaking that are emanating from the ground were first being reported from the western states, especially from the Four Corners area that includes Arizona and Colorado, around the Denver airport area, and so forth. Since the time of the initial reportings of unusual sounds, the incidents have spread to other states, to where they are now being heard and felt across the length of the continental U.S., including Canada. Now, is there something sinister going on here? Well, some people think so, and quite a few people believe we have entered into dire straits, a dark time in our Earth's existence. In the past decade or so, Hollywood has really ramped up a series of movies depicting a multitude of catastrophic events that involve serious consequences for humanity. Some of these movies have been surreal, while others have more of a realistic feel to them. One of those movies that touched on real-time events, which seemed to hit a nerve for many people, was the 2009 thriller Knowing, which became a classical box office hit and received a number of rave reviews. In a real sense, it's not a far-fetched theory when we hear stories about a government cover-up to protect the elite from catastrophic forces, or the ongoing preparations for what looks to be the inevitable destruction of society. It's really meant as a wake-up call to a world that has become complacent and indifferent. It actually ties in with the reality of the universal changes that are underway from the standpoint of our generation and the generations that will follow in our footsteps. In some of these stories, there is an underlying theme that portrays coming events, a genuine look into the future. But it's up to us to determine whether these stories are believable and whether they should be taken seriously. You, the viewer, must make that determination. The escalated entry of space objects has certainly gotten the attention of NASA and other space agencies, as evident from the confidential search for something that has impacted the ocean off the coast of Washington State. On July 7th, a tremendous fireball was observed streaking across the night sky from multiple locations in Brazil. The object was so intense that it turned night into day. According to a translated account of the sky event, which took place over Rio Grande do Norte, the entry had startled entire communities in the province. The fireball was seen traveling across the horizon in the direction of the ocean. Apparently, there was an explosive glare just above the horizon as it was descending towards an ocean impact. So far, there have been no official statements, which means that either the authorities are keeping silent or they are waiting to determine what to tell the public. Either way, the images are definitely showing a large presence entering the Earth's atmosphere in what looks to be an explosive event. I would like to finish with this note. Mark Elkin, one of our Facebook associates who resides in the UK, recently published a comprehensive guidebook on the Earth's ancient history and its depiction of prior cataclysmic events. The book describes how the changes from the past are incredibly interwoven with the changes that are happening in our time. If you're interested in learning how the present-day geological and atmospheric changes are affecting the Earth, then this book is certainly worthy of your attention. You can learn about Mark's book by clicking on the direct link that has been posted in the description box under this video. I might add that Mark is an avid follower of the Skywatch Media channel, and his contributions on Facebook and across social media has been an asset to a great number of people who are searching for answers to the mysteries that are now unfolding. I happen to have a copy of this book on my desk. It's well researched, it is thoroughly educational, and it comes highly recommended. So please take the time out of your busy day to check it out. Remember, folks, if you spend all of your time looking at your cell phone instead of looking to the sky, then you will never realize what wonders there are in the heavens. In a world that is continuously changing, your best defense is to stay informed and prepared. Thanks for watching.